Hi, I'm Will Greenwald, lead analyst and home entertainment editor at PCMag.com. We review a lot of TVs in the PCMag labs, and we put each one through extensive tests using specialized equipment to get the most accurate information about their picture quality. These are our main hardware tools: a Calman K10A colorimeter and a Muradeo 6G signal generator. The K10A, this big tube, is a very precise light meter that can measure the exact amount and color of light coming from a screen. The 6G, this gray box, is a signal generator that makes the TV it's connected to show specific, consistent patterns. These tools ensure that we get consistent data from every TV review and lets us compare the numbers we get between different TVs fairly and accurately. To get that data, we run these tools through the Portrait Displays Calman software, a software suite used by professional TV calibrators and engineers. We test each TV's peak brightness, black level, and color accuracy with both standard dynamic range and high dynamic range or HDR signals. We start by putting the TV into the picture mode that's most likely to be accurate out of the box, which is almost always called movie or theater mode. TVs can be very accurate with little calibration, but they need to be in the right mode for it. Movie modes are usually the best, while the standard and vivid modes your TV might use by default will almost always be overwhelmingly cool and skew the colors. We test peak brightness by measuring the light output with a full-screen white field. We then measure light output with a smaller 18% white field, because most TVs can put out more light by lighting up less of the screen and focusing more power to the part of the screen that's illuminated. We then take an 18% black field to measure black level, and if the black level is significant, about 1/100th of a nit or higher, we then calculate the contrast ratio by dividing the peak brightness by the black level. OLED TVs and many mini LED TVs now show perfect or nearly perfect black levels, and if the levels we measure are below about 5/1000ths of a nit, we consider that low enough for contrast ratios to be irrelevant. At that point, peak brightness is a more important factor, especially for OLED TVs that have lower light output than LED TVs, along with noting any light bloom for mini LED arrays. Light bloom is any kind of haziness that shows up around bright objects against darker backgrounds. After that, we perform color tests by measuring the color levels of full-screen white, red, green, blue, cyan, magenta, and yellow fields. Calman maps those levels to a chart, which we can then compare them to the ideal colors defined by Rec. 709 broadcast color standards for SDR signals and DCI-P3 digital signal standards for HDR signals. Oh, and we do all of these tests at least twice for both SDR and HDR. And if there are multiple picture modes that could have accurate colors, we perform the same tests for those and note which modes are going to give you the best movie experience. For gamers, we measure each TV's input using an HD Fury Diva 4K HDMI matrix with an Xbox Series S as a source. This device shows a flashing black box on the screen and uses a sensor to detect how long it takes between the signal is sent and the box flashes. We note this number using the TV's gaming mode, though we'll usually also check just how much input lag shows up in movie mode too. The difference between these can be the difference between 4 milliseconds and over 100 milliseconds. In addition to all of that, we watch some movies ourselves on each TV, specifically looking at certain scenes we know very well and have seen countless times to know just how well the TV handles dark shadows, bright lights, and vibrant colors under different conditions. The viewing experience is always important, and there are always aspects of it you can only catch with well-trained eyes, not just raw numbers. That's how we test TVs, just one of the many types of devices we test here in the PCMag labs. For the latest TV reviews, along with other consumer electronics, hardware, and software, visit PCMag.com.